This video is intended to give the teachers some of the ideas about what to expect on the speaking exam. So in this video, I'll talk about essentially 5 things or 5 groups of things. What the exam covers, the different parts, some samples with some answers I'm going to give, and then how it's all graded according to the international standard. So first, let's talk about the scope. The scope of the exam is set by Cambridge, that runs the exam format. And this has a range of things in it, including present continuous, so ing for describing pictures or actions in pictures. Prepositions of place, so in, under, between, and so on. And talking about likes with correct ing. Okay, so this is the sort of the most difficult parts or things that our students have the most difficulty with. And of course, it covers a wide range of WH questions, including what, where, which, whose. So it includes 4 of these WH questions. And it's not that the students have to be able to ask questions with them, it's just that they have to be able to answer questions in them. So let's look at the parts of the exam. I've separated part 1 into 2 parts because it is actually 2 separate things. The first part is an introduction where the student is asked some basic questions. It could be greeting, good afternoon, having a proper response, their name, their nationality and age and something like this. And then there's a familiar topic for discussion. So it could be about, do you have a pet? What's in your room? What's your favorite toy? Simple topics, but there will usually be 2 topics and 2 or 3 questions in each topic. And again, it's just short answer, 3, 4, 5 words just to answer a question. Part 2 is a scene card. This is the longest task in the exam because the student is given a picture. It could be a picture of a house, a bedroom, a zoo, school, a sports ground, something familiar. And they have to describe what they see in it, its colors, the prepositions, and then there are follow-up questions about it. And part 3, probably the easiest part, is a series of cards where the student is asked questions and answers. So let's see some samples. For the first part, it's quite easy, but we have to be careful to get the correct greeting right. If it's good afternoon to you too, or something like this. Just keep it simple, but the answer to good morning should not be hello. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then you see familiar topic, 1 question, just something easy about family, just to have the student get used to the exam, and then some questions about sports. Okay, so this is part 1 combined, and then comes the scene tasks. So in this part, the student is asked to describe the picture individually. I should not have to ask them questions. So the student should say there are, I don't know, 5 children in the classroom, there are 2 posters, there are red apples, anything essentially, but I shouldn't have to ask questions. The student should be able to speak individually. And then, if we're talking about the bottom right picture, so this picture here, I could ask, okay, who is this person? I could ask, what are the boys doing? Remember, it's in the scope, the ing part. Where is the board? It could be, where is the globe? How many students do you see? So 3, 4, 5 follow-up questions can come here. What's important to keep in mind is that, of course, the students can ask for help. So if the student doesn't know what the item is in the picture, the student can use the finger and say, what's this? I don't know. Can you explain? Can you help me? Also, if the student doesn't understand my question, the student could ask for clarification. If I say, okay, I don't know, how many birds do you see in the picture? So What's a bird? I don't understand. So this is fine to do, especially in November and February exam, up to, let's say, 3 or 4 times for the whole exam. So let's not get into the habit of using it, but it's definitely to make the student feel more relaxed and to make the exam just a bit easier. And then comes part 3. The examiner's handbook includes 6 pictures. Now, normally on the exam, only 3 pictures will be used. In case the student is doing poorly on some of the pictures, the examiner might ask a 4th picture. But this is sort of a rare case. It's usually 3 to keep it short. Now, the first question for each picture is always, what's in the picture or who's in the picture? So let's do the first group. Okay, who's in the picture? Okay, it's a family. Great. A follow-up question is, how many people do you have in your family? How are they feeling? Do you like your family? Do you have a brother or sister? And so on. So there's always one follow-up question. And then I could ask, what are these? These are roller skates, rollerblades, something like this. And then I can ask, do you like to rollerblade, or where do you like to rollerblade? I can ask any of those WH questions. And then this will be followed up perhaps by, I don't know, what's this? And then what's your favorite animal? It could be something like this. Okay? But the point is, it's short, back and forth, very, very quick answers. Just question, answer, question, answer. And of course, if it needs clarification, no problem, that's absolutely okay. I don't understand, can you help me? Could you give an example? Perfectly okay. Now, let's move on to talk about how the exam is graded. This is not the grading per se, but this is the way to think about the grading. Okay, so essentially, for each part that I have shown you that the exam includes, has about 3 ways of getting score. Either a 5, a full score, which produces everything, all the level-specific vocabulary is there. The person is using the right, appropriate eye contact, and so on. Around 3 is about halfway, so something is there, something is not there. Could be using lower-level vocabulary, or the student is stressed and is looking away, moving around, or 1, or essentially could be 0 even, where the student just says nothing. This is also the same score if the student starts answering in Russian, or if the student is unable to ask and runs out of time. The student uses fragments, single word answers, because that's step 2. The point is to be using sentences, not just fragments. And if we go into details, and of course this has been shown to you as the grading criteria. So let's look at some of these in detail. Vocabulary preposition is worth 20 points total, and some examples could be, the boys are sitting on the rug. This would get full points. It's a full sentence with the correct one. The children are sitting on the rug. Again, this is fine because it's just a synonym. Children or boys. It doesn't matter at this point. It's just step 2. Grammar, 10 points. Now, I would like to point out here that, for example, just saying help me or don't understand, although those are technically, grammatically incorrect sentences, the students don't use any points. So the student can even say help. And that's fine. There's no deduction of points for asking for help incorrectly. That's fine. And of course, fluency, how well the student can produce the language without interruptions. And of course, English is a language that uses stress timing. So I'm going to read some sentences, and you'll see the difference. For example, in the picture, I can see 2 photos. This is correct because I used the correct stress timing by combining words. If I say in the picture, I can see 2 photos, this is very low fluency because I'm stressing every single syllable in the sentence. And English is definitely not a language that uses that sort of timing. It's not syllable timing. About thematic development, at this point is sort of an easy point to get because it's just about linking words, but at step 2 it's only and but, so that's perfectly enough. And thematic development shows that the person can create logical formulations. I like playing sports because they're fun. Perfectly enough, step 2. But to show that there's some logical development. Sociolinguistic awareness, the person can normally maintain eye contact and so on. That's pretty easy. And interaction shows that sort of the light is on. So if there's something unknown, the student seems to think and then can ask for help. The student doesn't know how to answer the task correctly. The student can ask for example assistance or it's to show that there's a light inside. Okay, so this is the end of the overview of step 2. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and please leave some feedback so that we can improve the exam and this video for further use. Thank you very much.